Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. The absolute state of the market right now, most top 100 coins are down more than 75% from their all-time high. This coming from Larry Cermak here on Twitter. And so I guess if you guys have been following, you have been realizing that many coins are down right now. This is Bitcoin on the daily, trading right now $35,200. Now, we were hoping we were going to see an uptick, however. The crypto market has just collapsed. Right now, the market cap holding at about $1.5 trillion and Bitcoin dominance at 42%. So Bitcoin dominance actually going up a little bit compared to the rest of altcoins. And as you guys can see, the crypto market in the red today. Some coins in double digits like XRP down 12.2%. Binance coin we got down 11.6%. Ethereum down 12.5%. Cardano down 17.2%. So there are a lot of coins right now in the red. I don't think I see anything really in the green at this moment. And so I guess the question that's on everybody's mind, is this the time to panic now? Are we seeing a black swan event that is going to continue to collapse the crypto market? What should we be paying attention to? Are there broader implications? How should I feel about my portfolio? Should I be taking profits as this is moving down? Well, TechDev here says whatever happens to the markets in the short term will be noise in the long term. Prayers for the Ukrainians and all human beings tonight. People always come first. So there has been a socio-political event, one of these black swan type events in the world that has kind of shaken the markets a little bit. So as you can see, cryptocurrency down a little bit, and as TechDev here says, whatever happens in the markets in the short term will be noise in the long term. So even though we have seen a bit of a down day, or are seeing a bit of a down day today, and I mean, you know, guys, this could even continue for a few days or maybe even a few weeks, similar to what we saw when markets locked down during the beer flu. Let's not forget, we all lived through this. If you guys have been in crypto before March 2020, we all lived through this. And, or maybe, you know, this was what spurred you on to get into cryptocurrency. And let's not forget, from this high back in mid to late February 2020, we saw the market go down, the crypto market. We saw it go down more than 50%, actually more than 60%, even 62.27%. This is Bitcoin again on the daily. We saw a huge move down for Bitcoin before that ultimate rally to the upside, which brought Bitcoin to new all-time highs. Now, right now, we are not seeing anything so drastic, but this could be the beginning, guys. Again, taking a look at a little bit of technical analysis today, we are still holding, we're actually holding this support up here. Whoops, get rid of that. We're actually holding this support up here, so we haven't actually gone below this level, $32,900 or $33,000, which would be the most recent level. We could see one of two things: a double bounce back up to the upside. That is certainly a possibility. We could see this trend go a little lower and then hit 28,000 and then maybe move to the upside. And I mean, we could even see this go lower. The good news is not a lot of selling pressure. So the volume's still not high enough to denote a lot of selling pressure, at least in the Bitcoin market. Here, if I bring up the total cryptocurrency market, we are also not really seeing a large amount of volume, just kind of typical volume for what we've seen over the last several months now. Not a lot of high volume activity. So what are we to expect next? Panic selling in crypto is an unfortunate reminder that people are still convinced fiat is their savior. And so this coming from Sadaf Jadran. Why are people believing this is their savior? Well, let's get into the event that is causing this. This just in from Disclosed TV. Russia attacks the Ukraine. Explosions reported in the capital of Kiev, in the second largest city, Kharkiv, in Mariupol, and in the port city of Odessa. So it looks like Russia has just invaded Ukraine, guys, and markets are reacting. I saw this from Yahoo Finance. Forex European currencies are hammered as Russia invades Ukraine. So just a little bit about what's going on and what to expect, and maybe to quell your fears a little bit with regards to crypto prices going down. The Russian ruble tumbled to a record low in European currencies, including the euro, bore the brunt of selling on Thursday after Russia launched an invasion of Ukraine, sparking dramatic moves across foreign exchange markets. Investors dashed for safe haven currencies, including the dollar. So guys, this is very, very important to note, which jumped 0.9%, as well as the Swiss franc and the Japanese yen. Aside from the ruble, it was the currencies of European countries such as the Swedish crown, Hungarian forint, and Polish zloty that were hammered the most, all losing more than 1%, as traders brace for the fallout from a war in Europe's east and more Western sanctions on Russian assets. So volatility across FX markets soared, with one commonly followed measure hitting its highest since December 2020. MUFG analyst Lee Hardman said risk-off sentiment would dominate in the near term, favoring further US dollar, yen, and Swiss franc strength. In contrast, risk remains heavily tilted to the downside for the ruble and other European currencies, which are more sensitive to negative spillovers from military action in the Ukraine, he said. So, are you guys catching this? What is going up? What is going down? What are people fleeing to? And what are people getting out of? Well, obviously, the article states that the Russian ruble and most Eastern European currencies, people are fleeing from. What are they getting into? The US dollar, as they mentioned here, it did jump 0.9%, as well as the Swiss franc and the Japanese yen. But the misnomer here, people are panic selling in crypto, and that's an unfortunate reminder that people are still convinced that fiat is their savior. Let's go back to the US dollar here. And let's just compare it to the Canadian dollar real quickly. You guys can see the US dollar did spike up against the Canadian dollar because we know, Canadians have been on quite a tumultuous ride over the last several weeks, couple of months now. So the Canadian dollar certainly wasn't one of those currencies that people were jumping into. However, they were finding faith in the US dollar, Swiss franc, and Japanese yen. So when you compare the US dollar to the Canadian dollar, you did see the US dollar spike a little bit. Conversely, if we look at the reverse chart, you can see the Canadian dollar has gone down a little bit compared to the US dollar, less than 1%, 0.66%. However, it is significant in the grand scheme of things. So investors are now pouring their money into fiat, which is unfortunate considering cryptocurrency should be considered more of a safe haven. And so how is that translating, for example, for the Bitcoin price? Well, guys, if people are putting money into the US dollar, because we're always comparing Bitcoin XRP to the US dollar, what is that obviously going to mean for the price of Bitcoin and XRP? If people are putting money into the US dollar and therefore the theory is it's worth more, well then comparing cryptocurrencies against the US dollar, we are going to see that price plummet. So this could be a double reason. Bitcoin price going down because of panic selling, but also because the dollar value against Bitcoin is going up. Same with XRP, same with the rest of the cryptocurrencies in the space. This is XRP. Right now we're trading at about 63 cents, but the same thing rings true. If people are putting money into the US greenback and it jumped 0.9%, well, everything against the US greenback will go down, and guys, this is what we're seeing. So should we be panicking? Obviously not. Short-term pain for long-term gain. Michael at Val5 Links brought this to our attention. So a step in a different direction here, considering the confidence that some of these countries have in cryptocurrency still. Two Latin American nations, Mexico and Brazil, have taken initial measures towards Bitcoin adoption. So they're taking a page out of El Salvador's playbook and looking to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. More Latin American countries are exploring cryptocurrency regulation. Since El Salvador adopted Bitcoin as legal tender in September of 2021, crypto awareness in Latin American countries has continued to grow. Politicians in Argentina, Brazil, Panama, and Paraguay have become more open to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies due to El Salvador's influence and as a potential solution to inflation. So these countries are watching what's going on and they are looking for a solution. Their economies, save for maybe Brazil, aren't as robust, and so they need to find a way to safeguard their nations against the current political strife that is happening worldwide. So just this week, new updates have come out of Mexico and Brazil. News publication El Salvador in English reported that Indira Kempis, a politician from Mexico's Senate, says she will present a crypto bill that emulates El Salvador's Bitcoin law, making the top crypto asset legal tender in Mexico. Kempis has been pro-Bitcoin ever since she took office in 2018 as a member of the Mexican Senate, the Mexican Congress's upper house. Whether there will be enough support from other Congress members for Kempis's Bitcoin bill remains to be seen. However, she is trying, and so this is just another move for Latin American countries, and in this case, Mexico, to do something similar to what El Salvador is doing, if not identical. While Mexico may soon see its first bill to propose making Bitcoin a legal tender, other Latin American nation, Brazil, is taking steps towards regulating the crypto sector. On Tuesday, the Senate's Economic Affairs Committee in Brazil passed a 2019 bill that contains legislation on crypto assets. The bill recognizes and regulates the cryptocurrency market per an official statement. So we're also seeing big moves in large Latin American countries like Brazil as well to adopt Bitcoin. Guys, this is going to be a formidable solution for some of these countries for many different reasons. It does solve a lot of problems. I know right now we're feeling the turmoil. Right now we are feeling the market in the red. However, short-term panic for long-term gains eventually. And to be quite honest, even though we are seeing an XRP price, for example, at 63 cents, I mean, it's not the lowest we've ever seen it, right? And it is still holding support over here. So nothing to really worry about. If XRP goes back under 50 cents, though, I don't know, we might want to take a second look at what's going on. Nevertheless, I'm going to continue, guys, because there was also this, and so this might also be having an effect on the Bitcoin market. And I mean, it could even be a coordinated effort by the powers that be in order to kind of wrangle us in a little bit, us cryptocurrency holders who have been in this from the beginning, who value our financial freedom. So this from Patrick Hansen on Twitter. The European Parliament wants to ban proof of work based on cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin from the EU. This is no longer a hollow threat, but could happen if the Commission and the Council of the EU don't kill this amendment. So here's what we're seeing, guys, in the EU. According to a report published by German cryptocurrency media outlet BTC-Echo, the European Parliament, one of the legislative branches of the European Union, has moved to ban Bitcoin and other proof-of-work cryptocurrencies. The final draft of the Markets in Crypto Assets framework, much anticipated package of crypto regulations, includes a provision forbidding the environmentally unsustainable consensus mechanism. This means that Bitcoin would become illegal within the European Union starting on January the 1st, 2025. Wow. Trying to kill Bitcoin. And I guess I don't really know where you stand. I mean, I know there are some people in the XRP community that think XRP a superior technology to transfer value. And I mean, it is. But to kill Bitcoin, I mean, I think there's got to be something to be said about that. I think that their way around this, to ban proof of work and putting it under the guise of, well, it's not environmentally sustainable, so we cannot condone that, I think is their way to have their cake and eat it too. Of course, we got to think, this global reset is going to depend on the system that they create. And the system that they're creating does not include Bitcoin. This is why, for example, the IMF was very critical of El Salvador when they introduced Bitcoin as legal tender. And I'm sure they'll have a few words for countries like Mexico and Brazil as well. So they're trying to pass this in the EU. Businesses would be prohibited from offering any services associated with proof-of-work cryptocurrencies. Stefan Berger, the center-right rapporteur behind the framework, told the outlet that the proposal was very likely to be green-lit. So it is not looking good. And I mean, it is just being introduced right now. The bill is just being introduced, so we do not have a final verdict on this. This could have also had an effect on the market. But, you know, there are a lot of, I mean, I always feel like it's many factors that have an effect on the market. It's never just one thing. So we are currently seeing this decline for cryptocurrencies. However, I think when the jig is up, when people do realize that their fiat currencies are also not safe havens, we are going to see people and investors flee from fiat. And so we will see a migration away from traditional fiats like the US dollar, the Swiss franc, the Japanese yen, so on and so forth, and move into commodities or precious metals or cryptocurrency. And I think that's going to be the next phase. So guys, be patient. Again, short-term pain, long-term gain, because we got to remember, and this particular article just reported yesterday from Volente, there is going to be a new financial system. I mean, whether the Great Reset is implemented in the way that the World Economic Forum wants it to be implemented or not, the fundamental problem here, and they were using the beer flu as a great opportunity to usher in the Great Reset. So the Great Reset has been in the works for years now. This was just their opportunity to implement it. But the real reason is because the financial system is essentially effed, and they need to usher in a new system. They've already greenlit new technologies. For example, that World Economic Forum paper greenlighting those 6 cryptocurrencies that will be part of a new financial framework and beyond, of course, because this will intersect with other sectors as well. So I saw this, and to just kind of bring it back to the US, RTP or FedNow, hint, it's not a choice. This is an article talking about instant payments in the US. Whether we call them instant or real-time payments, it's becoming increasingly clear that immediate account-to-account payments are gaining momentum in the United States. The RTP network from the clearinghouse is already in its 5th year of operation, with millions of real-time transactions flowing through more than 150 banks and credit unions every month. RTP is hardly the only game in town. However, the Federal Reserve's development on its own new instant payment system, FedNow, promises to accelerate the shift to real-time, turning instant money transfers into a regular part of our everyday lives. And so this is just a kind of fluffy blog post just talking about RTP, FedNow, those two services. And, the title here, I think, does speak to the point that I want to get across here. RTP or FedNow, it's not even a choice. And so they talk about making the choice rather than thinking of it in either or terms. Banks should really consider choosing both options to present their customers with even more instant payment experiences. So it's not a competition, in other words. Volente is essentially saying, banks can make a choice, but they should basically be using both. Both systems would allow banks to route payments through a different network if the payment cannot be sent for various reasons, such as a wrong limit or amount or a beneficiary being unavailable. Depending on the amount and type of payment, it may also be more cost-effective to send through one network compared to another. Banks and financial institutions that take a single network approach risk losing customers because they will not be able to provide rail-independent customer experiences nor offer services that are available from a particular network. So essentially saying, instead of saying we will pick one over the other, no, both are equally as good. And the good news for us, guys, both run on Ripple. Just wanted to bring this back to September 2020. Ripple partner FIS and the clearinghouse joined forces to bring real-time payments for US banks. So RTP network from the clearinghouse, that is the first technology here. Of course, they also talk about FedNow. And as you guys know, FedNow does run on Volente's Volpay, and the Volpay Ripple processor module speed integration to the Ripple Global Settlement Network is what Volente decided to integrate with. So they are integrated with Ripple as well. The clearinghouse also integrated with RippleNet technology, and so whether making the choice between RTP or FedNow, essentially your customers will be running on Ripple. And I don't know about the inner workings and what rails these two are going to service, but it does say here there's no need to make a choice. You probably should be integrating both so that your customers will have the best experience possible. Again, guys, this is going to be part of a new financial system, something ushered in by the Great Reset. We know the World Economic Forum is partnered with RippleNet, and so, just another example, this blog post posted just yesterday to illustrate that. And finally here, guys, Kevin O'Leary, crypto is going to become the 12th sector of the S&P 500. It's going to happen over the next few years. Just you watch. And so, I don't think we needed Kevin O'Leary to tell us this. Crypto is just ramping up. I know we are having a bit of a red day. Do not panic sell, guys. A lot of this is just because people are jumping into the US dollar, fiat currencies that seem more stable at this moment in time. So no need to panic, even though your XRP has gone down to 63 cents. Nobody said it wasn't going to be a roller coaster ride. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.